Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm Wowcrendor, and I just wanted to give my opinion so far on Mists of Pandaria because I realized I have not made like any Mists of Pandaria videos since Mists of Pandaria came out about a week ago. And I know a lot of you have probably been awake at night just waiting, being like, I wonder when Crendor's put up his thoughts on Mists of Pandaria. Don't worry, we finally made it to that point. So you can sleep now. Anyway, what else? I'm also making a Grummel wrap. A Grummel wrap. It's amazing. It's already written, and I just gotta do the rest of this stuff. So it's gonna be amazing. And yeah. But anyway, I am almost level 90. I'm like halfway to 90, and so I wanted to just give my opinions on Miss Pandaria so far. First off, questing. I am really enjoying questing this time around. I don't know if it's because I'm paying more attention to the story. I don't know if it's because they've added more, like, quest items that are fun to use, but I am enjoying questing more than I did in, like, all the other expansions. And, for example, when you get to Jade Forest, they revamped the entire thing since beta. So you get there, and you do all the, like, gunship type stuff, and you're like shooting the Alliance with like rockets from the gunship, and you got like grappling hook down, and then you get to the Jade Forest and you learn about the pandas and all that, and it's fun, and you're just like, whoa, and you get engulfed in the environment of Pandaria, and you start adapting to this new environment. And that's what I missed about that's what I missed in Cataclysm, was that new environment. Instead of jumping into this new world where it's just like, whoa, I've never been here before. It's kind of like, oh, these are Azeroth zones that I just couldn't go to before, and Azeroth's on fire. I don't know. There's a lot of people seem to have liked it, but I did not like that. I like the new continent that we get to explore. So after that, you move on to Valley of the Four Winds, which another amazing zone. It's probably my favorite zone, actually second favorite, because the Grummel zone is my favorite. And Valley of the Four Winds is just, it's so much fun. You got like, you can farm, which, I mean, farming, it's not like the most amazing thing ever, but it adds more depth to stuff to do outside of raiding and PvP and blah blah blah. And I already got the turnip pet because it's awesome. And what else? There's the cooking. There's like new styles of cooking. I haven't really done a lot of cooking, so I don't want to talk about it that much, but it seems interesting. It seems better than the previous forms of cooking stuff. But I'm also an enchanting tailor, and one thing I noticed is that it's a lot easier to max out your profession. In the previous expansions, I could not hit max level, or I never did hit max level in the Cataclysm expansion for professions, and I'm already maxed out enchanting tailoring like a week into it, so I think they're focusing more on getting you maxed and then finding recipes from various aspects of the game, and putting more effort into finding those recipes and those rare things rather than actually leveling up and being like, oh, I made 20 more hoods I'll never use, I'll disenchant them. So I like that. I like that they did that. I can't vouch for any of the other professions because I haven't tried any of those, but enchanting tailoring, I've liked what they've done with it. What else? We got after Valley of the Four Winds, which has the rat people in it as well, and they're amazing. And then you go to Kunlai Summit, which has the Grummels. Grummels are the best race of all time. Best race of all time. They're just like, oh, the Grummels! And they have Lucky Doos and Yaks, and they're like little Yodas. It's amazing. I love the Grummels. They're amazing. And I ran an instance. Let me tell you something about my first instance experience in a while. It was fun. I got into a group, and the tank and the healer and one of the DPS all got in a big fight, and then they left. And I ignored them all, and then after we wiped on the second boss once, because they were all yelling at each other, I would imagine so, I'd ignored them by that point. They all left, and then I was like, oh great. So then I just sat there, and then I went AFK, and then I got kicked from the group because I was AFK. And yeah, that was fun. But then I went back later and completed it, and it was a fun instance, which, if you, how do I put this? There's quests now that take you through the instances before you do them. So like, you get to do a quest that takes you through the instance, and it almost gives you like it's like an orientation to the instance, which I think is pretty cool, instead of just randomly going into an instance and being like, oh, I know where I'm going. So you kind of have just like a rough draft type blueprint there. So you're like, oh, I remember going here in my quest, so we probably got to go this way. I like that. I think it's cool. Some people might not, but I do. The new talent calculator, which that's been out for a while, but I don't know. Some people hate it. Some people like it. I kind of like it. I think it's. I still don't know if it's like customizable over the other, more customizable over the other talents. I mean, there's always going to be like the one specific, like, this is the best for this is the best for that. But you can do whatever you want and be like, yo, I'm doing whatever. It's not like it's going to be game-changing, like, mechanic picks. I think that's what they wanted to go for. I think they wanted it to be less game-changing and more fun. That's what they did with glyphs as well. And, I mean, I think it's a good idea because whatever you do that's more serious with talents or glyphs and all that, there's gonna be the best spec. So when you make it more of a novelty or like a fun thing, like your mage spells can turn people into chickens or something, I don't know, that'd be kind of really overpowered if your frostbolt also turned people into chickens. Unless there's an ability where when activated, all of your spells turned people into different things, depending on what the spell was. So like your fireball could turn them into a chicken, your frostbolt could turn them into a cow, and it wouldn't do any damage, it would just turn them into stuff. There you go, there's a talent for the future. So I mean, I think that's the type of stuff that they were leaning towards. They were probably just like, listen, we tried like multiple times to fix the talent system, it didn't go well, so we're just doing this. And I don't think it's that bad. I'm enjoying it because you don't really have to be like, oh, what's the best spec? What do I gotta do? Go look it up. So, I've also seen a lot of people comparing the questing with WoW and Guild Wars 2, and if I had to compare the questing with WoW and Guild Wars 2, I don't think there's that much of a difference. I mean, a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, Guild Wars 2 is so much better. But really, when I played Guild Wars 2 and I leveled in Guild Wars 2, it still felt like WoW, except it had like less of a linear feel. Like instead of being like, oh, go kill 10 cows and get their udders, it was like, hey look, a cow farm. I need you to kill some cows. Here's a bar indicating your progress of killing the cows. You don't have to do this quest, but if you feel like being an overachiever and leveling up and having OCD, then you better do it. And of course, me and Jesse like went to every zone and did like all the quests because we have OCD. And I mean, WoW quests, I feel like WoW has learned more. I feel like they've put more fun quests into the game. That's just my opinion. I'm sure you have your opinions. Leave your opinions in the comments section below. You'll probably turn into a giant rage war with Guild Wars 2 and WoW, being like, WoW's dead, Guild Wars 2 is reigns supreme. And then WoW people will be like, oh, I'm gonna play that crappy game, Guild Wars 2, that game sucks. And then Guild Wars 2 people will be like, WoW's, you pay $15 a month for that game, that's stupid, Guild Wars 2 is free. And it's just, it'll be fun to watch those comments, 'cause it's a fun thing to do. And finally, let's talk about pet battles. Pet battles is amazing. I love pet battles. I know people, all they've done this expansion is play pet battles. Like for a week. That's all they've done. And that shows that if you go back to my older videos, I don't know which one it is, I said WoW needs to put a mini game within the game. They need like a game within a game. And they did it, and it worked. So I'm gonna be egotistical there and take that credit. Cause yeah. Yeah, go me. I don't know. It's fun. I like it. It's like it finally gives a meaning to have a pet because you can actually do something with the pet instead of being like, hey, I got a pet, look at it, it's a pet, I can walk around with it. So, I like it. It's awesome. I'm really liking this. I like this expansion. I think this has been a good expansion so far, which I kind of felt like that would happen, being that everyone was like, oh, this would be the worst expansion ever, joke expansion, pandas, stupid, Blizzard's stupid and suck. Blah. So, what are your opinions after the game has been out for a week now? What do you think about Pandaria? What's your favorite thing about Pandaria, and what's your least favorite thing that you wish wasn't in it, or you would change, or etc. So leave that comment section below. I read them all, or I try to read them all at least. Sometimes, like my last one with the MMO, the new MMO, there was a lot of comments, and they were like giant comments, so I tried to read as many as I could, but it gets tiresome after reading all those. But I'll try. I always try. And yeah. Okay? Okay. See you.